So this is actually like the third time I've tried to record this. Hopefully this one turns out all right. Not turning the air conditioning off. Sorry if the sound isn't that great. I tried turning the air conditioning off yesterday. When I tried to record, it got like really hot in here and I got really sweaty and it looked awful, and I want to spare you guys that as much as possible. I'm already a little too shiny right here, but I just want to pitch this to you guys. So, okay. So here we go. So I want to do a few of these pitch videos to not only get better at pitching as a screenwriter, but also just to pitch ideas and see what you guys think of them. So the first movie I wanted to pitch you guys is a franchise that I believe in quite a bit. It's a comic book, and I know a lot of people aren't really that familiar with the comics. They don't like them a whole lot. They're not the most well-loved. They're thought of as being cheesy. They're thought of as being kind of more kid stuff than the rest of the Marvel Universe. And they've attempted this franchise a few times to limited to no success at all. So I'm talking about Fantastic Four. I like the comics, and I like the characters, and especially Doctor Doom is one of my favorite villains in comics. And he's, of course, not been done the justice he deserves. But I want to do a pitch that's not saying that those were bad. I actually think that the Jessica Alba ones they did weren't awful. They weren't great. They were kind of more or less, made for TV versions of what those movies could have been. And I think that there were actually a lot of talented people on that cast, and I actually kind of like the costume design was pretty good. Not so much Ben Grimm's rock body. That didn't look that great. But not the actor's fault. The Shield. I'm forgetting his name. Those movies were okay. Of course, there's the more recent one that completely missed the mark. But I don't want to focus on those too much. I don't want to rip those movies apart. I'm here to give you guys my pitch. And I think that there's a good movie in there. A good few movies. I think the Fantastic Four has a lot of potential. So here, I'm going to give you guys my pitch for a Fantastic Four movie. Not saying I'm better than Josh Tank. Not saying I'm better than Tim Story. I'm just going off of this is my pitch. This is what I want to present to you guys. What I would like to see out of a Fantastic Four movie. Alright, so start off. Outer space. We see kind of the galaxy, nebulas. We're kind of coming in and out of like space dust. We're seeing the vastness of the universe, and we got a narration playing over it. Kind of similar to like the first few X-Men movies. Mankind for so long has had a limited understanding of the universe around us. Until now. And we see in the middle of a stage, we come out, we realize we're like in a stadium. We're not in outer space, so this is like a digital projection of outer space in the stadium. In the middle of the stadium, the Invisible Woman appears. Susan Storm, she just materializes. No special effects. She just comes out of nowhere. And then a ball of fire shoots out, and it's a man, and it's Johnny Storm, and the crowd is like, whoa! And he's zipping around the whole place, just rings of fire all over. From the concrete below, bam, Ben Grimm, the Thing bursts out. And kids are horrified by like this monster thing coming out. And he's just big and scary and just, and it's great. It's really cool. And then like a big thing of silly, stretchy putty, you just see whoosh, whoosh, and it's, Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, slinging himself from one side of the stadium to another. Just all stretchy and rubber bandy, and it's really cool, and it's gross, but it's kind of neat. And they do kind of like this show, and they all end up together. And you hear the narrator say, like, Reed Richards, leader of the Fantastic Four. You kind of see a look on Reed's face of like, Narrator says, he asked his 3 assistants to join him in traveling into outer space in a spacecraft of his own design to explore the outer reaches of our solar system when they were hit by cosmic rays. And what could have been the biggest disaster in private spaceflight history has now become the next step of human evolution. The Fantastic Four, and the crowd is going wild. They're just all applauding. This is amazing. And you realize this is a PR show for the Baxter Foundation. to advertise, like, look, Baxter Foundation, pushing humanity forward, and people are just sold on it. They love it. After the show, we get a sense of how the four of them actually interact with each other. Ben Grimm sees, like, children as he's going out to the armored truck that is, like, the only thing around that can carry him anywhere. And the kids are just scared of him. They don't even want to get that close. They're like, oh my God. And Ben is just kind of lumbering, and you see Reed being like, Ben, I'm close. I'm going to find a cure soon. Don't worry. This is almost over. Ben doesn't say anything. He just gets in the truck. He hasn't talked yet in the movie. The truck drives off, and Reed just feels guilty. And Johnny Storm kind of comes by. He laughs like leader of the team. This was like, whole project was Susan's idea, kind of gives him a little bit of crap for that. And Reed's like, I didn't write the narrator dialogue. And Johnny's like, I don't care, and he goes off with a couple different groupies, and he's living up the rock star life. We see Susan Storm just super resentful that, Reed is thought of as the genius. She won't even talk to him. And, Reed tries to go to her. Hey, can you talk to Johnny? He's gone off again. And she's like, I can't control what Johnny does. And they all kind of go off in separate directions. And we see that they're not really that close. And so Reed goes back to the Baxter building to continue his research. And he's trying to figure out a cure to see if he can solve, Ben Grimm's problem, turn him back into a man. But he kind of needs Johnny Storm to be there. Johnny Storm can actually transform his body into something and transform back, so Reed thinks there might be a cure there. But Reed just notices that a lot of his notes and a lot of the progress he's made has kind of been disappearing from the computers. A lot of his progress seems to be erased, and he's not careless. So where is all his notes going? And he actually confronts Johnny about this later on, and he's like, look, I think you're trying to sabotage this project because I think you like being the Human Torch. And Johnny's like, I don't care about your science project. Cure Ben. That's, not my problem. I love what's happened. And Susan gets mad at Johnny because he's just off all the time, and she and Reed are trying to solve this problem, and he's being no help. Ben, they don't even see him anymore. He's just kind of up in the tower in this room by himself, just lonely. He hasn't spoken to anybody in 6 months since the events happened. And so we get a sense of their home life. They're not really close. Reed really likes Sue, but, he's kind of ruined their lives. I mean, he built the ship that took him up there. It was Susan Storm's idea, and she wanted to do it, but it was Reed who was left to figure out how to actually do it, and he didn't armor the ship properly and got him all exposed to the cosmic radiation that changed him. So he feels really guilty. Now we go to another part of the world. We go to Latveria, and we see this giant castle-like compound, soldiers everywhere, these robots, these green and silver robots, along with the soldiers just kind of patrolling. We go into this massive room, and we see this huge device. It's kind of in the darkness. We can't quite tell what it is. And 3 UN workers, all being held at gunpoint by Laverian soldiers. And that's when we see him, Dr. Doom. And this guy, he is 6'7". He looks like completely silver Iron Man with, green robes all over him. He's got the body frame of The Rock, and he just looks menacing. This is finally the Dr. Doom what we deserve. This guy looks like he can just destroy you. He is literally the definition of intimidation. And the only part of his skin, the only part of his actual body that's exposed is his eyes. We see they're kind of bloodshot, kind of veiny, and the flesh around his face is scarred. And he comes down, and the UN workers are like, we were just here just to inspect. We just wanted permission. We didn't. Dr. Doom doesn't even let him finish. Goes to 2 of them, breaks their necks. He goes to the last one, and he goes, I need you for something. I need you to help me deliver a message. Cut to back at the Baxter building. Fantastic Four are kind of fighting with the CEO of the Baxter Foundation. He wants him to go on a road tour across the country. And Reed's like, I have to stay here. I have to help Ben. And the Baxter CEO, he's like, no. You guys are making us a ton of money, all right? You have contractual obligations. You want us to keep funding your research? You do this tour. And the 4 of them are kind of stuck doing it. Johnny's all on board. Johnny's championing it, but Reed and Sue are like, no, let's stay here, let's fix Ben. Well, the 3 of us will go. And, the CEO is like, it's not called the Fantastic 3, that doesn't work. Total marketing sleazy guy, kind of like Paul Reiser's character from Aliens. Their conversation is halted by a news report. It comes on live. All of them kind of stop and watch. And it's a live broadcast from Lavaria. And we see like the crowd chanting and cheering. News reporters are like, well, what's going on here? Like, we're getting this live feed. There's supposed to be some announcement by the king of Lavaria. And Dr. Doom arrives. Johnny Storm, of course, is like, this guy, he's such a clown. He just calls himself Dr. Doom. Like, what an on-the-nose, like, I'm an evil dictator name. Doom addresses the crowd, says, we have been invaded by foreign forces. This man, and he points to the UN worker, was sent here to spy on us, to enslave us. I, Doom, will protect you. Again, Johnny's like, his name is literally Doom. This guy's crazy. Doom breaks the UN worker's neck, live on TV, in front of a crowd, in front of millions, in front of the world. They watch this man get executed. All jokes, everything, hush. He's got their attention. And Doom says, we have developed a secret weapon that can annihilate our enemies in an instant. And if there are foreign trespassers on our soil again, I will use this weapon and annihilate that country. This is the only warning the world is getting. Feed cuts. Fantastic Four is silent. Later on, a general, and if this was going to be part of the major MCU, then I guess this would be General Ross, but, you know, it could be any general. It doesn't have to be anybody. He arrives at the Baxter Building, and he goes specifically to Sue Storm. We know you're a white hat hacker. We know that you can go invisible. We need you to go into Lavaria and see if he has this weapon. And if so, find out the specs of it. Because we've been under the impression that Lavaria was kind of backwards. We don't think that they have nuclear capabilities, and there's nothing to indicate that they can build a nuke. So we need you to go in and figure out, what is this secret weapon? You're the perfect person. You're just made for stealth. And Sue is kind of like, I mean, I guess that's true. Immediately, Johnny's like, well, she's going in, I'm going in. The general's like, no, you can't turn invisible. And he's like, yeah, but I could turn into fire and I need to protect my sisters. You want her to go into that country? The dude who just killed that guy on TV? No way, I'm going. The general's like, that's not going to happen. Ben Grimm, for the first time in the movie, speaks up. If Sue's going, I'm going. Sue is like my little sister, too. I'm not going to let her get hurt. And everyone's kind of like, oh my god, you could talk as a rock monster? Because he hasn't said anything since he's become, you know, Rocky. The general's like, this isn't going to work. And Reed, because he loves Sue, says, well, I'm going too, because, you know, who knows what kind of weapon it is? It might not be tech-based. There might be something scientific involved. And, yeah, you know, I'm a genius, so I should go with as well. I could provide some form of protection. The general is just losing it at this point. And the general's like, look, you all can't go. This is a stealth mission. Eventually they put their foot down. All four of us are going, or Sue is not going. And you have to solve this problem yourself. The Army doesn't really have a way to stop the Fantastic Four at this point, so they're like, okay. So we cut to them going to Lavaria on a plane, and it is a tense plane ride. So keep in mind, even though they've all agreed to, like, go with each other, they're not all friendly. Reed still thinks that Johnny is sabotaging all of his research, so they're getting into it. Ben Grimm is not really still talking to any of them. Sue is mad that Reed and Johnny keep fighting. It's just them all bickering, and Ben kind of just sitting out, being this lumbering thing. The general tells him that at Doom's castle, near the beach, there's going to be a military extraction point. They'll be able to get him out by sub. But the moment they land, everything goes south really quick. All the plans they made just go up in smoke. Johnny is just out the plane, shooting full flame on, just fighting soldiers, robots, just bam, 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 fire everywhere. And Ben Grimm, just feeling like, well, it's already started, he just charges forward and is just bashing tanks, smashing cars. And it's PG-13, so we're not really seeing a whole lot of death, just a whole lot of things blowing up. And Reed and Sue are like, oh my god, this could not have gone, this was a stealth mission, couldn't be less stealth. But they sneak in. Sue is able to go invisible, and Reed is taking out sentries by like wrapping himself and slingshotting them, and he's just being all stretchy and opening doors and just taking away people's weapons, helping her get inside. Kind of distracting everybody from like doors opening by themselves and key cards being stolen. And we get kind of this cool, rushed, you know, breaking in sequence with all this chaos going on. They get into the compound, and they get into the area where we see the giant machine. And Sue is like, okay, I'm going to try to find a console and like hack into it and figure out what this thing is. And as Reed is looking at it, he's looking at the entire device, and he's like, I recognize this. I've seen this before. Before he can finish anything else, Doom shows up, just kind of stepping in from the other side of the room. And he's curious. He's like, huh, well, you were the last people I would expect to find here. A bunch of PR monkeys? for a scientific foundation, but okay. Johnny and the Thing arrive by this point, and the four of them are right there. And Reed is like, okay, I think we gotta go. We've definitely been discovered. The king of Latveria now knows that somebody's invaded. And Johnny Storm's like, who cares? I'm taking this guy out. He charges forward. Doom presses a button on his belt. A sonic boom, bam, blasts out, knocks Johnny out unconscious. He's done. Everyone is shocked. Like, the three of them are just standing there like, what just happened? But Ben Grimm is like, it's clobbering time. He goes over to smash Doom. Doom charges up his gauntlet, uppercut, 10 tons of force hits the Thing right here. Boom! Crashes. The Thing is done. He's out cold. Sue and Reed are just like, what are we gonna do? So Sue goes invisible. And she figures she's gonna sneak around. Doom has lenses that come down over his eyes. Thermovision. He finds her, grabs her, choke slams her. She's down. And Reed, not knowing what else to do, he's like, okay, and he wraps himself around Doom. Tries to choke him like an anaconda, tries to crush him. Doom presses a button on his other gauntlet, electrifies Reed. Thousands of volts go flying through his body, and Reed just collapses. That's when Doom comes up real close to Reed's face. It's right up to here. It's been a long time, my old friend. Surprised to see you here. And Reed in that moment goes, Victor? Suddenly the military extraction team shows up. You know, they're firing, giving cover fire. Doom is kind of just like, this is annoying. But Ben Grimm and Johnny, they're up and about now. So they grab their teammates, just pull them up, and they run. Everybody's getting out. Flashbang grenades are going off. Doom just is kind of just letting them go. They're not really a threat to him at this point. So the team escapes with the Fantastic Four. They make it off. The general is furious at them. Just like, the moment we left, Doom made the announcement to the world. The United States sent a team in to spy on us. They violated the rules. There will be repercussions. We don't know what Doom's going to do now. So they've built these special containment cells and throw the Fantastic Four in there. Specially designed cells, no way to really get out. They don't even quite know where they are, but they're all in cells kind of facing each other, and it's a quiet moment. Sue asks Reed, did you know that Dr. Doom guy? And Reed has had time to think about this, and he says, yeah, because I recognize that machine. 12 years ago, back in college, I was friends with a man, a Latvian refugee, named Victor Van Salen. He was a good guy. We were friends. We talked about all these scientific theories. The most interesting theory he had was that he could build a machine that could travel to other worlds in the galaxy. He built a small version of it. And it was all theoretical, but it looked like that machine we saw back there. Victor built it, turned it on, and it exploded and shot Victor across the room, burned his entire body. Ambulance workers took him away, declared him dead. But he's alive. And he's the king of Latveria now? Dr. Doom? And he's building that machine again? Why would he do that? That doesn't make any sense. And Sue has another thought, which is, he didn't know we were coming. He was surprised to see us. So why did his suit have all those weird defenses? What was with that power gauntlet? What was with that sonic boom thing? The electrified suit? The thermovision? Why does his suit have all that? It's not like Iron Man, who's got like guns and missiles in his suit. His defenses seem specifically designed for something. We don't really get to follow that logic train anywhere because Johnny interrupts him. He says, you know what? I've been working on something. I think I can go Nova. And these like reinforced steel bars that are meant to keep us in even from extreme heat, I bet I can melt them. And Reed's like, no, we've talked about this. If you go Nova, it could be dangerous. It could kill you. And Johnny's like, well, maybe I don't have to go Nova. He goes really hot, and they're warning him, like, don't go Nova. And Johnny Storm's like, it's fine. I'll be fine. He melts through the metal bars, melts through, gets the Thing out. Ben Grimm and he both work together, get Sue and Reed out. Fantastic escape sequence. They get out, they escape from the military compound. They find the prototype Fantastic car that Reed Richards will build later, and they escape in that. And they leave. They have nowhere really to go except back to the Baxter building. They figure the best thing they could do now is just go home, collect what they need, and then go on the run. They're wanted fugitives now. They arrive at the Baxter building in the cool little Fantastic car. And when they get back to the Baxter building, they find the Baxter CEO going through Reed's things, deleting files. And they confront him. They're like, what are you doing? You're deleting Reed's work. And the CEO is like, yeah, I know. I don't want to lose Ben Grimm. Are you kidding? The Baxter Foundation hasn't had to innovate, we haven't had to design, we haven't had to create anything for 6 months. All we've had to do is put your faces out there, and our stock prices have increased 10 times over. We haven't had to do anything, we haven't had to spend any money, and we are getting rich as hell. And it's all thanks to you guys. It's all thanks to your screw up. I am a genius here. I took your mistake, Reed, the thing you screwed up on, and I've made this empire grow 10 times over. So you know what? Yeah, I have been sabotaging you. And you guys are going to keep doing this because I'm the boss. I'm fitting the bill. You want any hope, Ben, of ever being a human again? It's only going to be when the stock goes down. That's what I say. So you're going to get back out there. You're going to do that PR show. You're wanted fugitives now? Great. I can market that too. Ben Grimm goes up to the CEO. 2 fingers, just grabs him by the tie. Try and stop us. Throws him to the side. CEO just kind of scurries away. Johnny Storm's turned on the news again. The news is going crazy. Police and first responders, the National Guard, they're all gathering at Ellis Island because a ship has come in from Latveria. It's Doom and his army of Doombots are all there. The weapon behind Doom. And he says, because of America's insolence, I will use this weapon on the city and show you the might of my country. Reed, Sue, Ben, and Johnny are watching this. And Reed says, you're all in this position because of me. Because I missed a step somewhere. I got too into my own research. I overlooked some important things, and now you're all like this. And I don't know if there's anything I could ever do to make up for it. But we have these abilities now, and I don't know if there's anyone else who can stop Dr. Doom. But I think the 4 of us have the best chance. They all agree to go in together. They're all finally united. They've seen the big threat, something bigger than themselves, bigger than their personal problems. Reed apologizes to Johnny. Johnny says, you know what, I should be here. I should be doing my part to help get Ben back to normal. And Ben says, Reed, you could have never known this was going to happen. We're still friends. And Reed said, Reed goes to Sue and he's like, I never took credit for the space mission. I hope you know that. And she goes, I know. You just get so into your own research, you forget about the rest of us from time to time. So they all come together, and they all agree they have to stop Doom. So they suit up, get in the Fantastic Car, which they'll probably re-outfit in another movie, and fly to Ellis Island to confront Doom. The General sees the Fantastic Four flying by, and he's like, oh my god, they're just going to make the situation worse. But this time, all 4 of them take turns being leaders at different points in the battle. They go and they attack the Doombots, but they are calling the shots for each other. Ben, look out, there's 2 coming up behind you. Ben Grimm takes 2 of the Doombots, throws them. Reed zips up into the air, rubber bands him, down, crashes him into others. Johnny Storm blows few up. Reed calls to Johnny. He goes, there's a dozen coming that way. Johnny flies overhead, flame napalms him. Sue can sneak up behind him. She can turn invisible. She's able to hack into him, cause him to short circuit and self-destruct. But they're all working together. They all take turns getting each other's backs. And there's no one real leader in the battle. They'll see something and they'll help each other out. They're working as a team, the complete opposite of when they went to Latveria. Until finally, it's just them versus Doom. And Doom, of course, is like, how do you think this is going to go any different? And Doom tells him, look, even if you were to defeat me, you're not going to be able to turn that thing off. My device, its power core, you would need something that is as hot as the sun in order to peel it out of the machine. That's how well constructed it's built. The Fantastic Four attack Doom. He goes to use all of his tricks, but because they've all seen it before, they know the effect of it. They know how they can use it. He goes to use the sonic boom belt, and Reed blows himself up, makes himself up to be like a giant human net, catches a sound wave, blasts it back at Doom. Johnny grabs Doom, who tries to electrocute him, but Johnny's already gone, flame on. It is melting the suit. It has structurally weakened it, damaged its defenses. Then all of a sudden, Ben Grimm comes up, bam! Shatters the armor. Doom is now down for the count. But Doom's still laughing. He's like, you can defeat me, but you're not going to be able to turn that machine off. You would need somebody like, and Reed says, like a genius hacker? Doom is looking around. He can't find Sue Storm. Turns back to the machine, she rematerializes just as she's able to hack into it and open up the machine and expose the core. But Doom's like, you still need something that goes as hot as the sun in order to peel it out. It's not going to come out of there with brute force alone. Johnny flies in, makes himself go super hot. Reed and Sue are begging him not to, but Johnny's like, we have to stop this thing from going off. He goes Nova. So hot, he's able to peel the core out of the device, and it drops, and it's falling, and if it touches the ground, it's going to explode. But Ben Grimm catches it. He's barely got it. He throws it, and Reed Richards catches it slingshot style, fires it into the sky, and it explodes. It's done. Doom is defeated. And the Fantastic Four saved the day. And all the first responders and military people, they're like, they're cheering for the Fantastic Four. Everyone watching on TV, everybody's cheering for the Fantastic Four. Little kids near Ellis Island see the Thing, and they're not scared. They're like, that's our hero. That's Ben Grimm, the Thing. And the 4 of them stand united, and they're just like, we did it. We actually saved thousands of lives. It's a big triumphant moment, and the four of them are finally united, finally together. Later on, and Doom is in a cell, in one of the cells that was originally designed for the Fantastic Four, but it's been re-outfitted, made stronger. But Doom's in there, no armor on, being held by the UN for war crimes. He's been deposed as king. Reed visits him, and he says, Victor, why did you do this? You know what that device can do. It almost killed you 12 years ago. Why would you build it again? And Doom says, because 12 years ago it worked. In the instant it zapped me, it sent me to another world, possibly another dimension, far out in space, I don't know. But in that place, I lived for nearly 20 years. I lived on a planet that was very much like our own. It was a civilized culture, an advanced culture. I married, I had a wife, I had a kid, I had a life there. I was happy, Reed, until he came. And Reed's like, who? The Herald of the Planet Eater. A being made of silver came and prepped our planet for its eventual destruction. I never seen anything like it. The planet died so fast. I tried to stop it. I tried to confront the being, but all he did was just touch me, and it burned me and scarred me, and he sent me away, and somehow that shot me back to the exact moment I had originally left. And that's when the device exploded. In that 1 millisecond, I had lived nearly 2 decades on another world, and I was burned beyond recognition. I woke up on the autopsy table with them about to pry my chest open, but I fought my way out, and I knew I had to get back. So I went back to my home country. I conquered it. I took it over, and I used its resources to help me build a bigger version of that machine, because I have to get back. I have to face that silver being. I have to destroy it, and I have to destroy the Planet Eater, because it killed my family. And you're not going to stop me, Reed. This will not hold me. I will get out, and I will build that device again. Reed just thinks he's crazy. A Planet Eater? A silver guy? Okay. You've clearly lost your mind. Reed leaves Victor there, who's just screaming, just rambling now. Fantastic Four are back in the Baxter building. The CEO can't really make them do anything now. They're city heroes. You know, the president has congratulated them live on TV. And they're watching over the city as fireworks are going off. For some, for saving the city fireworks, you know the kind. And Ben is able to make it out in public. Ben waves to the people below, and they wave back. They're not scared of him anymore. He doesn't have to hide. Johnny's been humbled a little bit. He actually likes hanging around these people. He's kind of missed connecting with his sister. Reed admits to Sue that he kind of likes her. She admits she kind of likes him. So there might be something there in the future. It's a very happy ending, and that's how we end it. The Fantastic Four, they're together at last. But we don't start off by showing another origin movie. Start off with them already having their powers. Let's just get that out of the way, because that takes up so much screen time otherwise. Just start off with that. And you finally have an explanation for what is the Baxter building? It's always just been called the Baxter building. Make Baxter itself an entity. Make Dr. Doom what he's supposed to be, an evil despot who's just a crazy, powerful madman. Kind of build into the different parts of the Fantastic Four mythology, but let these characters play off each other. They're great characters. There's a lot of opportunities to tell multiple different stories. And I think this would be fun. And I think it would be an interesting chance to see a supervillain who on the surface has a I'm gonna destroy millions of people plot, but really he's just trying to turn on the machine just so he can get back to what he considers to be his real home. He doesn't actually care how many people he gets killed in the process. He's got a goal, and he's just kind of playing the part of this dictator strongman just so he can get back to where he wants to go. So that's it. That's my pitch for a Fantastic Four movie. I think it'd be great. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I think there's multiple different directions you can go. The next movie does not have to be Galactus. It could be Mole Man. It could be anything. You can do a bunch of different things, but the point is, you don't need to go dark and gritty. There's no reason for the Fantastic Four to be dark and gritty, and there's also no reason for them to be just a Saturday morning cartoon. You can have a fun adventure movie that's for everybody, much like on the level of like the first Indiana Jones movie. And I just think that'd be a lot of fun. So thanks for watching this video. It's probably a little long. I've had to kind of edit it in weird places because my ums and ahs, and I sweat a lot, so I've been wiping away the sweat. I did it just now. So I hope you liked the video. If there's things you want to say, comments, feel free to leave comments. Feel free to share, like, whatever you want. I'm going to do a bunch of these pitches. Thinking about either my next one being my Jurassic World pitch or my pitch for a Predator sequel. Those movies I'm going to pitch are going to be more IP-based movies, not my original movies that I've written scripts for. I kind of want to keep those to myself for now before I start publicly pitching those. But yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know, did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you like the Josh Trank version more than mine? It's completely fair. He's made 2 big budget movies. I've made none. So yeah, just let me know what you think. And thanks for watching.